Hello everyone, welcome back to ISKA Presents 5-day daily life sessions on understanding the needs of children. And today we are here in the fourth day, and I'll just quickly pin today's topic. Today I will speak on importance of early intervention in childhood disorders. Okay, so here we are. Today I'll be speaking on importance of early intervention in childhood disorders, and I thought of speaking about this topic because it is very much important and necessary to speak on the different childhood disorders and why intervention is needed. Because what happens most of the time, whatever happens in the childhood, whatever disorder it is, maybe it may be something related to not only developmental disorders, delay in developmental disorders, but there are other disorders as well. For example, childhood anxiety, childhood depression. So everything has to be taken into account and consideration, and therefore keeping all these things in mind, it is very much important for a child to undergo an intervention procedure as earliest as possible. So today we will focus on its importance and how it can, what are the reasons or when is it needed for a child to have intervention in an early age. Okay, so basically we'll start with what early intervention is. It is nothing but a system of service that helps kids and young children to adapt with different difficulties they have in their life. It may be delays in developmental disorders, or it might be other disorders, childhood disorders like ADHD, conduct disorder, then ODD, oppositional defiance disorder, autism spectrum disorder, learning disorder. So yes, there are a number of disorders which needs early intervention, and it is really very important. Now, why is early intervention needed, especially in the childhood? So just before we proceed, well, basically, when we are talking about children, a lot of aspects are included. So there are physical aspects where there is, engaging of all the limbs and everything, hands and legs and eye-hand coordination and everything. So there are cognitive aspects also, where thinking and reasoning, decision making, everything matters a lot. Then there are communication and social and emotional issues. So basically everything related to a child is important, and therefore if a child has any sort of early childhood disorder, then all these areas gets impacted and these areas are hampered. So to start with, firstly, early intervention, or if I talk about developmental delays, so there are a number of reasons because of which there can be delays in the developmental milestone. So for example, we always check the time where the child probably has started to move or do some movements here, the neck movement and movement of hands and legs, and whether the child was able to crawl on time, whether the child was able to sit properly and balance on time whenever it is needed, and when we talk about delays in development, there we also have to consider delays in speech. So most of the time we see children who don't have proper speech till the age of 2 3, and it is delayed. So here in our center, even we have children who have really very difficulty in speech. And what happens, what I have noticed from my personal observation, is that it is all a learned behavior. I mean, there is certainly there are delays in development, but there are also issues because of which the child is almost very much, the child goes into this ease zone, very relaxed and comfort zone, where the child does not have to speak. And following that pattern, they become very much too much, they are very much into that pattern, and they don't want to come out from that comfort zone. And therefore whatever delay is there already present, so that gets, it gets delayed further. So it's like already there is a delay, and further the other delays also adds up to the present delay. So this is something which is related to what we call as biobehavior. It is the biological behavior, which it is again a new concept. It is not a new concept, but this is a concept which I have been doing some research about. And it says that a child's development is definitely based on many aspects, and the biological development which happens, that will keep on happening. But sometimes there is a rise in biological behavior, it is well maintained, but the other phases of behavior, and later the behavior which is not related to biology, and it is more about behavior, social behavior, that gets stuck. So in order to meet this, early intervention is very important. Now when we are talking about early intervention, we also have to keep in our mind about the child's history. Okay, so a child may have different history relating to birth. What kind of birth was it? Was it a normal delivery? Was it a cesarean delivery? And then we have to check for the developmental milestones, as I said. A very important aspect is breastfeeding. Was the child able to suck the breast properly? Was breastfeeding done properly? So we have to also keep in mind that, because when a child is sucking a breast, so what is that movement which is there? It is, if you just suck the air in, right? So there are movements here, and there is movement in your tongue as well. So these movements are not that great. I mean, these movements are not present if a child is having certain delays in their development. So these can add up to later disorders as well. Again, there are issues where the child is not able to crawl properly, not able to differentiate between left and right, and not able to use all their senses properly, and there is a very distorted visual-spatial relation. So in this case, this can directly affect and have the child it indicates the child of having learning disorder when they will go and sit in an educational institution. So therefore, just to cater these needs, so that the child is able to come up to that level where the child operates well, using all its senses through behavior, cognitive, every aspect. Therefore early intervention is very essential. So the earlier the intervention is, the more it is effective. So I have met a lot of parents who somehow it is really difficult for the parents to understand and acknowledge that their child is having some sort of issue. So in this case, what happens, most of the parents, they are very neglectful of their child's development and behavior. Sometimes it might be I know it is delayed, but even my brother-in-law's daughter and my sister-in-law's son was also going through the same phase, लेकिन बाद में तो ठीक हो गया. So it's not necessary that you will compare your child's development with someone else's. I mean, your child is yours, right? So therefore you have to focus on what are the delays that your child is facing, and therefore you have to take steps according to that. So the more early, I mean the initial stage, the first 3 years of the child is very important when it comes to forming neural connections and understanding, because in the formative years our brain, the neural connections are like this. I mean, it is very flexible. Whatever information you give, the brain will immediately catch those informations. And there is suppose you give an example of an apple to a child. What is an apple? So when the child is very young, the child will understand that that there is something called apple. So apple is a fruit and apple is red in color. So the synapses are in this motion that it will understand concept about apple, that apple is a fruit, apple is red in color, it may be green in color. The apple is available not only in India but in the entire world. Then as there will be more information about apple, so the neural signals will also, the synapses will also, it will go on taking more information. So this is right in the formative stage. Whatever we feed to our children, they will understand. But just like that, when it comes to early intervention, whatever behavioral modification treatment is given to them, or there are many other treatments like early special education, then occupational therapy. So whatever therapy or whatever intervention is given to them, they are in this mode, therefore they will easily acquire it. But as they grow up, as the age passes, all this information will go on becoming tighter and tighter and tighter, and then receiving some new information might be difficult. This is the only reason why early intervention is necessary, because the more you give information about recovery, where the more the child is engaged in remedial education or special education or any kind of sports related activities as well, which is very much essential for kids with early childhood disorders. So the more they get information in the formative age, the better it is. All right, so that is one point which we have to keep in mind. It not only helps in this manner, but also it really helps in understanding the core processes. It becomes simplified. Okay, so the cognitive processes, the mental processes are quite complicating. So the more at the young age they will get early intervention, so they will have a much better understanding of how to work, how the thought process can be changed, how new information can be inquired and adapted. So yes, this is another point which is why because of which early intervention is important. Then early intervention, one of the great importance is that it minimizes developmental delays. For example, a child who is into early intervention from the age 3 or 4 will cope up better than a child who just starts their early intervention in the age 6. So the more early stage you give the child into any sort of early intervention setup, the more they will learn and the better capability and adaptability will be there on their part. So yes, these are the few points which I wanted to say. I wanted to keep it very very short and simple, so that it becomes easier for everyone to say and understand. my personal intention is not only to reach out, or this video should not only be for people who are from the background of psychology or neuroscience, but this is something which should be availed by everyone, especially parents, because nowadays parents are ready to invest everything on their child, but when it comes to accepting their issues or accepting their troubles, that is where some parents lack. Therefore we really have to break this taboo, and really we have to break this stigma. Also we really have to try to teach them that these things are very normal. Again, there are so many different lifestyle changes which nowadays everyone has, so therefore a lot of environmental factors are there. Okay, so one of the biggest factor is how is the home environment. So the home environment really the home environment matters a lot. Okay, so we have a question. Can early intervention be started from 2 years, including sports and play therapy? So 2 years, yes, 2 years is very, very young, but definitely they can be put into play therapy, yes, for sure. But as they grow up, once there is movement, and for them to go into sports, they have to at least understand their movement, so that they can, in the field, whenever they are engaged in any sports based activities, it should be that they should be allowed to go in the field, and they have to be able to run and take care of themselves. So at least until the child is 3 plus, I think it is better if the child is 3 plus for sports, and rest of course they can start their early intervention right from age 2. But the basic education, definitely it has to be from parents, and for that parents really have to be aware about it. So could you please name few childhood disorders where early intervention is required? Yes, of course there are a number of childhood disorders. For example, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So there you have to go for early intervention, provided if it is very mild, then it is not that necessary. Again, it depends on every child. Okay, in some children there will be too much inactivity, and therefore too much inactivity will lead to lack of focus and concentration. And there might be children who are very hyperactive with spells of anger. Now anger and too much hyperactivity, this will again lead to some sort of behavior. So therefore, yes, in order to modify that behavior modification can be used. So for ADHD it can be done, for autism, so autism, ADHD, conduct, oppositional defiance disorder, so these all are set of disorders where one thing is very common, which is anger, and anger is equal to some sort of behavior. It might be very disruptive in nature. So my personal suggestion is that yes, if a child is having these sort of early childhood disorders, then I would definitely suggest that there should be intervention, provided before intervention at least an assessment of the same will be appreciated, and that will be better. So without assessment, if it is not diagnosed, and without assessment, if we are giving something to the child which is not even needed, then it will be of no use. So first go for an assessment, and then intervention, of course. So is it helpful for children with autism and Down syndrome? Yes, it is, provided they will also need different approaches like OT, occupational therapy. Then there is concept of applied behavioral analysis, which is very much important for autism. So therefore, yes, you can go ahead. But it is my suggestion that before you go into any kind of intervention, please get it diagnosed, please get it assessed, because without assessment, if you are making the child do certain things, it will not be bad, but it might not be needed. So whatever the focus is, we might shift from that focus, or we might just divert from that focus and focus on something else which is not needed probably. So yeah, this is what my answer is to your question. Hope I was able to answer it. Okay, any more questions? If yes, then great. If no, then probably I can sum up today's topic. But whatever it is, whenever we are dealing with children, we are dealing with parents. So along with children, parents psychoeducation is immensely important, because there are parents who will come to you for assessment, there are parents who will come to you for early intervention classes, but as soon as they sees their children doing those activities, they will there are times when they gets overwhelmed, and there are times where they gets very emotional, and there will be a point where the parent might feel that why did it happen to my child. So probably that is the time when we have to really empower the parents by giving them proper psychoeducation, and it is something which is not uh, treatable. Of course, when we are talking about anger related disorders like ADHD, ODD, conduct disorders, definitely all these can be taken care of by behavioral modification. But yes, when we are talking about Down syndrome or ASD, autism spectrum disorder, learning disorder, these cannot be altered, but these can certainly be managed. So yes, Gayatri says, I heard in a psychology workshop that when we start showing flashcards with colors, alphabets, numbers, pictures, etc., can help in learning process as early intervention when they are in months age. Is it true? Yes, it is true, because see, all these again, especially when a child is having learning disorder, or when there are disorders with visual spatial and other learning related disorders, they are unable to differentiate. Sometimes they just sees, they mixes up colors, okay, mostly the primary colors. So yes, this is a very good technique which you can use. And flashcards not only with colors, you can also make flashcards with alphabets and spread it on the floor and ask the child to find them and form words and sentences, and mostly words, not sentences, of course, mostly words. And you can definitely use other ways, like if you place flashcards of 3 animals, and you show them for 2 seconds each, and then you ask the child to memorize it in the sequence. Or if you ask the child that what are the animals which you saw just now, so you can do that as well, because that will that will help in memory building up, and it will really help them to understand and identify different animals at the same time. So what you can do is that if you are showing a flashcard of a cow to a child, then probably you can do acting of a cow, and then you can probably say how does a cow moves, or I don't know, cow speaks, so the cow moves, right? So you can probably say hambe or moo, like that however you feel, but you can take that route as well. Basically we have to teach the concept to the child, related with every animal, related with object, whatever it is. Our main idea is to teach them concept, so that later when they grow up, they are able to identify it, and they will be able to use it for their knowledge. Okay, so yes, it is great, you can do that. All right. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for your questions. I hope I was able to answer your questions. And if you have any query, if you have any query related anything, you can always DM us in our ISKA page, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So yes, thank you. That's it. We will see you tomorrow with another topic, and then till then, good night, take care, and keep following ISKA, and also ask your friends to follow ISKA Wellness. Thank you. Bye.